And good morning, everybody. This is Billy Bob, the best and most behind-the-scenes information here for financing and real estate, money talk entrepreneurs. This is Dan French Workbench Podcast. We have a good show for you guys today. We're going to talk a lot about what's happening in real estate.
Did you put grease on your chest too, man? Hey, like you're actually like in the garage doing work?
Buddy, I just got
Look
done.
at that, man. You just got done
Plumbing
doing
pipes, baby.
So if anybody can see his shirt, it says more hose plumbing services. Laying pipes since 1969. What a walking cliche.
That's just great marketing. Just great marketing.
Yeah. Need a home loan? I've been laying pipes since 1969.
And in studio, we have our great, I guess you can call him co-host now. Everybody's a co-host now.
Everyone's a co-host.
Rick Raines, buddy, what's happening, Rick?
Boo!
How are you, man?
Happy Halloween.
How are you?
Doing great.
Rick is the what? The ghost ninja?
He's the ghost ninja. So, Rick, man, let me find out, man. How did you come up with this costume idea?
Oh, well, subjects, every week we discuss different subjects to have on the channel. And we're having a nationally known person over here, Scott Beaudry, is going to talk on cybersecurity.
Absolutely.
And I decided that I'd talk on personal security.
Absolutely.
So those of you need to have some personal security, or this is how you're going to end up looking.
Yes.
The Rick Raines don't F with me security services.
So yes, we are going to talk about cybersecurity today. And Scott's a seasoned vet. He's been in real estate we'll talk to him a little bit here, quite a long time about what he does. He teaches CE classes at GLVAR about cybersecurity. Is that right, Scott?
Right. I teach for the association states. I teach for places around the country, which is awesome.
Yeah,
love it.
Scott's really a guy that's got a lot of history. He's been on TV show, or not TV shows, but news channels and stuff like that, right? So
all kinds of news channels, president of the local association of realtors.
Oh, all hail the president.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yes, please bow. Yes.
All right. So let's talk a little bit, man. So how did you get into real estate? You own Better Homes and Garden, right? You're a broker there?
Right. Broker owner, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Got into real estate straight out of the womb.
Okay.
Literally. So my mother was a broker in town, so that would make me an SOB, son of a broker.
There you go.
You son of a broker. Why, actually, yes, I am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Usually somebody, when they get into real estate, it's something where somebody kind of pushes them in, or let's say dad or somebody in the family is like, hey, you should start and follow my footsteps. How'd you get in? I mean, did somebody teach you, or did they take you under their wing?
Well, growing up, I said, oh, hell no, I'm never going to get into this business, because I did open houses with my mother. Worst thing ever. But I just gradually gravitated to it. Didn't have a job, said, hey, let me check out real estate. The family did pretty well. Why
Didn't
not?
have a job? Nobody would hire you?
No, I said, I'm in between jobs. Why not get my license? Hey.
That's crazy. So we also have Mr. Brett Jenny here. He's from Simply Vegas. Brett's back. What's up, buddy? You didn't dress up? Or you did dress up?
I did dress up.
Okay.
I am the cool kid. At your high school. I'm the cool kid.
The librarian.
I'm the cool kid at your high school.
I actually dressed up myself.
Yeah.
I am a cyber criminal next door.
There you
There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an agenda, so.
We look like everyday people, little do you know.
Right. Esmeralda Lucia. What's up, Esmeralda?
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Yeah, I came in to just bat everybody down. I was like,
Dressed to fight some crime, huh?
that's right. I came with my Batmobile and everything.
So let's get right into it, guys. So first off, let's talk a little bit with Scott here about cyber security, cyber crime. A lot of things going on where in our industries, you got financing, real estate, also title. A lot of people are getting their wires intercepted. People are hacking into people's computers, getting information. A lot of sensitive information when you talk about financing and real estate. So you teach this class, and we want to talk with you about kind of the process of what people should look at or look for when they see potential cybercrime. There's a lot of phishing You talk about that.
Phishing's number one.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's figure this out. What's going on with cybersecurity, cybercrime?
So cybercrime, cyber criminals literally suck. They suck. They suck the money out of you. They suck the money out of anybody they can. They suck the money out of their equal opportunity opportunists. Let's say that. They don't care how old you are. They don't give a crap.
It doesn't
how
matter.
Old you are. No, doesn't matter whatsoever. Especially, I think the highest age group, the highest age bracket of victims is 60 and above.
Oh, I guarantee.
60 and above.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're the highest amount of
Greatest targeted.
not just greatest target, but the amount of money
That
that's
they have.
extracted
Oh,
from
okay.
16 above.
Money, and they're probably the least technical savvy as far as the internet. Plus, they're also from a different generation.
They are.
Where people just trust more naturally. And
They do, and especially cyber criminals think that that age bracket has more money. They
Yeah.
have more resources.
by
So
and
they're
large,
a
they
greater
probably
target.
do,
They
too. Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely.
Well, like you said, though, I think it comes back to I know what I know, and I know that when you get into something like this, they can't maybe fathom that this would actually be something that could get them in trouble because they don't understand it.
No,
Yeah.
they
You
don't.
know what I mean? That's the point of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just okay. I
What's
didn't
their
even know this
easiest victim?
existed, type of thing, right?
I mean, you look at that age group. Their tech support is their grandchild.
Yep, absolutely.
So there you go.
No,
my-
yeah, absolutely.
So Rick, I mean, you're not too far down that chain, but you're close.
Oh, wow.
I'm a
Dude,
little
you
bit
s-
farther than what you think.
do you see the way he's dressed? I
think I'm a little farther.
that's
Hey.
talking.
I'm just gonna say, do you see that in your sphere
Speaking
of
of old
influence?
people, hey,
Oh,
Rick,
your sphere of people you deal with.
My
like to
dad.
comment?
Hey, listen, when my dad was alive, he was still pushing the keys on a computer at 94, and he was talking to my son, Derek. It was over there like 2-3 times a week to get something figured out because dad would push the wrong buttons or open something up he shouldn't open up.
Right. Yeah. So basically, you're looking at this. I get emails all the time. There's people that try to fish to get. I don't know how they would do it, but they send an email, right? And it's like, hey, this property, you want to open it up or you want to check this out, or hey, somebody's information or somebody's checked your information out. Please open up this email. All the time. And then,
Well-
I sent documents, please hit this. And once they hit it, I don't know if it just, and maybe you could tell
What
us this,
happens?
what happens?
It actually installs things a lot of times in the background that you're just not aware of.
You don't even know what's going on.
You don't even know what's going
They're
on. It's in
they're
your
tracking
phone.
you, right?
What's the most
Tracking.
common?
Tracking your keystrokes, right?
Keystrokes are
Yeah.
huge. But right now, especially in real estate, it's email hacking. It is really
Yes,
it's just
Gmail.
so it's just sitting there
Get
waiting
into your
for that right
database.
moment. Yeah.
So what are they doing when they are email hacking? What good does that do them? That to me that doesn't say money. So where does
Because
that lead to?
It is at the right moment.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting there in the background.
Yep.
They're looking at your emails.
Yep.
Looking at emails from escrow, and these pieces of crap know what's
Yep.
going on. I mean, they're super educated. They're smart.
Yep.
They're geniuses, and that's a shame. And these
You're
cyber
absolutely right. It's kind of like when we were talking about a couple weeks ago about I do a lot of cryptocurrency, and some of these coins will hire hackers to purposely they'll have like hackathons who can hack, for that reason because they're wicked smart, man. They're off the chart smart, and they're using it to do stuff like that. Where if they applied it towards the positive,
Oh my God.
but it is what it is. But yeah, they're not only just as smart as the good guys, but they're usually one step ahead. Correct?
Correct. And you look at the cyber criminal organization called DarkSide.
Yep.
They
Absolutely.
actually have a customer service phone number. They actually have a customer service phone number. Hi, this is DarkSide. How can I help you? Can I take your account information now for your
Wow.
Bitcoin payment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pretty big. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so people are sitting behind right now, not people, but there's a lot of hackers, a lot of people out there that are figuring out ways just to have money, wired or taken or somehow got, people getting hacked into to take the money or getting account information. And Esmeralda's had a lot of people where they've wired funds, right? And then you've
Yeah,
had
and-
some issues.
Yeah. So entitled, not with me personally, but in escrow, we had two situations that I was actually there. So we had someone that refinanced their home. So they cashed out $700,000.
Wow.
And it was a Asian couple, elder, right? That
Yep.
came into title. They signed. They They closed on those 2 refinances. And then like a week and a half later, we'll say 2 weeks just for the time frame. And they're like, yeah, we received these documents from the title company saying thank you for the refinances. So they're like, we never refinanced our house. So the escrow officer was like, okay, well, let me check into it,
Yeah.
So she was like, well, you signed, this is your ID, this is you, right? And so needless to say, the couple that came in to sign the refinance was not the couple.
Was not the couple.
No, it was a whole different group.
Yeah.
And this was, like...
Dude, that's
stepping it
professional.
up. That's stepping it up.
That's professional. Almost as an artist point of view, I kind of
Right.
respect
Because we were like, okay, because it's hard
that's
to
a whole
get...
design going on there.
But think about it. How hard is it to get a driver's license right now? I mean,
Well,
just to
that's
go
what
get it, it's like a...
that's what I'm saying
freaking-
is they
Go to the dark web, you're
Had-
going to get it every second.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they created
100%
that.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked real, the ID. They had the FBI investigating. And when the FBI comes in with it, when it comes with escrow and title, you're talking there's millions and billions of dollars. So they investigated everybody that was part of that office, that was part of the company.
Yeah.
I mean, you were getting followed. I mean, it was crazy. And that was just one of those incidents that happened. And it didn't get resolved. So that means that title, we had to pay the $700,000.
No kidding. Is that how that?
Well, it
Is
came
that how
from-
that comes out?
Well, it comes from the EO insurance.
yeah.
but,
Well, okay.
but it's still a loss for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for that brand. It was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
huge
You've
loss.
got your deductible. You've got increased costs. You've got it just keeps
Somebody
going.
has to pay somewhere for that.
So you
Well,
being
once you get title, well, this is the thing. Once you get title and you're insured by title, then the liability is on the insurance company.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of having
Having
title.
yeah, E&O
right?
and everything.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
So that was something that happened, and it was a big thing in that in that title company at that time, and everybody was being investigated.
So you being Batgirl, do you kind of like put your suit on when you figure this stuff's going on, and you're
going
like,
on
I'm
here?
gonna go do a little research?
I personally, because where I'm at now with WFG National Title, we have a sister company that is all technology based.
Yeah.
So we're ahead of anything to do with like cyber, like all
Yeah,
that
I remember
stuff.
I told you like
Yeah.
3 years ago when I was trying to talk about Bitcoin transactions with
Yeah.
homes, I actually was able to meet with the regional vice president from,
Yeah.
but WFG National Title was the one that
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
and that was like 4 years ago. You guys were open to it,
Yeah,
just not open enough, but
Yeah, we
Maybe
were
it's
ahead,
changed.
like so. I know.
yeah,
a
you
lot,
guys
like,
are. You guys,
I change my passwords consistently. For me personally, what I've had is people try to hack my phone. And because I'm on my phone and I'm aware of it,
Yeah.
I always can tell if something's happening in my phone. My phone starts getting hot, calls don't come in. My phone's been blocked with calls. I had to move from different phone companies. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's like, and you don't know if it's coming from somebody trying to intercept your texts, your calls, because I'm also part of a title company.
yeah.
I just don't have nothing to do with the finance part, and people don't understand that.
Yeah.
So it would be an escrow officer
Yeah.
that's like getting hacked.
It's like
or-
people ask me lending questions all the time. I'm like, I'm.
I
a
don't have
realtor.
anything, so it's
Yeah.
like pointless to
Call
hack
Dan
me.
French.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to talk with Scott because Scott. So what are some of the things you see out there that are like preventative for people not to get hacked or get somebody that's going to get wire fraud or something like that? When you talk with these agents, I'm assuming most of the agents,
brokers.
brokers, what do you tell them of what to do and what to tell your clients on what to do?
Well, number one is to communicate and educate. Period.
Yeah.
Communicate and educate. It's in our age right now where we're doing e-signatures. It's really easy for an agent or a broker to send out a contract and just get signatures and initials and not go over anything. It's a
Yeah.
fact. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still our duty to go over these documents and make sure that our consumers actually understand them. But to go over in detail cyber fraud and come up with a plan of action and actually have a written plan with your consumer is key. And not just getting the wiring information from escrow, because that can be hacked.
Yeah.
Emails hacked, that can be hacked. As a matter of fact, about 3-4 weeks ago, there was a new home builder, a new home sale, $900,000.
Wow.
They paid cash for this property, $900,000. They wired it. It got intercepted by a hacker. Money is gone. They didn't get the house, and they lost $900,000. This is just in the last month. I hear it
So who
every
pays
week.
for that? Like
How-
who comes in? Is there like insurance for somebody in that situation?
So that's a great point. So you have E&O insurance. We have E&O insurance. But for us, E&O insurance does not cover cybercrime. And that's a little known fact. So there's a separate, you got to get a separate cybercrime policy.
So like an AFLAC on top of it.
Right, the AFLAC of cybercrime,
Yeah.
right. It's
Is there
exactly. There is.
There is one. So do people?
I would have that.
Chubb is a big insurance for cybercrime. National Association of Realtors has packages where you can call and get cyber. I'd say 99% of the brokers out there don't have it, don't realize it, don't know about it, don't
Yeah.
reach
Wow.
it. They don't, because you're going to get, here's the thing. If my client's money is stolen and you're going to get sued. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Let me say
Yeah.
this. With you being
You're
so,
gonna get sued.
so let me say this. I did have an agent that was my client that he had his client didn't speak that well Spanish. So I mean English, sorry. English. So he asked him to wire him the money. He was gonna wire it to title. Well, guess what? I don't know why he did that, but he wired it. He was getting
He
fished.
asked the client to wire to him?
Yeah, so he can wire it to the title.
Does he still have his real estate license?
No, you don't do that ever.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
my.
not only
State
did
and
that
federal.
happen.
State and federal.
So not
Can I
only
have
did
his name?
no. Not only did that happen.
I don't want to know their name.
Not only did that happen, he sent it to the wrong email. It was one
Oh
letter
my
off.
God, dude.
Oh my God.
The escrow officer
Just stop.
and lost $80,000.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they'll just take they'll
And he had to pay that client back the money.
Oh. Does he still have his license?
I don't know if he's still around. When that
Don't tell me.
when that happened, he
Dude, I
he
would
stopped
just
doing
bu-
business with us. He wouldn't.
Is there?
I would just
is there
bow
a
out
reason?
I'll stop doing business with him.
Hey, Scott, is there a reason other than just not knowing why brokers may not get this type of insurance? In other words,
I don't
is
think
there
they're aware.
is there a really high cost to it compared to
No.
other types of
They're
insurance?
just probably not
Not at all.
aware.
They're not aware.
Yep.
And the cost is relatively low compared to
You
what
know,
can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got
Yep.
private rights of action, lawsuits, and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. But an agent can actually get it on their own also. If their broker refuses
Yeah.
to pay for it, which I would think a lot of these big brokerages might. I have
So
it-
basically, it probably hasn't happened enough to get people's attention enough to be like, this is something that I.
and it's crazy because NAR is really preaching it.
Yeah.
They're really putting it together, but it's the brokers and the practitioners who need to take the time to do the research
Yeah.
and listen. Just
Yeah.
open up their ears. That's it. They
Yeah.
just need to open up as to this is happening more and more and more.
So do you think this will become a problem where, yes, we're bringing this to everybody's attention, but because there's so much activity, opportunity for people out there that are maybe hackers or somebody that's looking to just get a quick buck, that this is going to continue to increase, like as far
Of
as the
course
amount
it
of
is.
people.
So here's the interesting stat. So per the National Association of Realtors, I mean, real estate cybercrime, the money going out is, I think, number 3 on the list of cybercrime.
Wow.
Real estate, in terms of financial.
It's real estate, right?
Yeah, it's real estate.
I knew it.
Because there's real money involved in real estate.
Real money.
Well,
Here's the thing: the
agents
hackers
don't.
know that these real estate agents out there, realtors, real estate agents, are not savvy in terms of this sort of thing.
Right.
IT.
Yeah.
They know we're busy selling houses, showing property, going to escrow, doing this, and agents are just tapping the keys and not really paying attention to what's going on. We're a very easy target.
Not to be discrediting. So what is the stuff that you do with your company to prevent, let's say, changing passwords or changing policies so that way these people can't just get in after a period of time? What do you guys typically do for that purpose?
So number one thing that I do is have a professional do an IT audit every 6 months. Every 6 months in my office, my home, all my devices, IT audit every 6 months. And that's the one thing that I think brokers and realtors in this industry do not do. They don't get it. So I do an IT audit, change the passwords every 2 to 3 months, policy in the company, all of our agents, push them. I can't push all of our agents, independent contractors. I can't tell them what to do, literally.
Yeah.
But push them to change passwords. For me, it's educating, and it's insane. It really is. So, but to have a process, a written process, is key, and you follow that process, and you look at that process, and you say every year you look at it and say, how can I make it better? What's going on? How can I make it better? It's a matter of paying attention, doing your research, noticing what's going out there, not just looking at that paycheck that comes in once, twice, 3 months, or every 6 months. It's not a matter of the paycheck. It's a matter of the consumer, protecting them, protecting yourself.
So in that process, I'm just curious, what are the one or two major steps in I'm sure a process is maybe 10 steps long, but what are a couple of the major steps that you really hone in on?
In terms of the consumer, is having that conversation prior to doing anything.
You think that's part of the spiel in the beginning? Like when
It
you're having
is
that
must.
handshake and you're putting that
I
meet
think
to greet
so.
together?
I think it should be.
By the way, cybercrime is starting to become a big problem, or could be a big problem. And it's part of like now you get hired and they say this is your company culture. It's part of the company culture now, right?
Correct. It is. It's having that conversation in the beginning of the transaction is absolutely key. And part of the process, some of those steps might be, yes, escrow will send a wiring instructions, but I'm going to have that conversation with my client as soon as they get it. First of all, I don't even want to see it. I don't want wiring instructions. And when they get it, they need to contact me. I'm going to give them over the phone a verified phone number of the title or escrow officer that I know is going right to their desk, so they can verbally check all those numbers to make sure it's going to the right place. And then at signing, they should get a hard copy right there at signing. After signing, then go to the bank and do their wire. But they get a hard copy right there at their signing. So it's all verification, communicate.
A lot of millennials too, and I'm not gonna say millennials, younger generations. They grow up now, computer.
You don't need to really have that
iPad.
conversation with them.
Well, let me explain, right? Because I feel that
Well, they're the ones that are being targeted to be hackers.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? Because they know what's going on, and there's a
Exactly.
manipulation, not just younger generation, but I'm saying, would they ever have a position where they feel like, you know what, I got to worry about this? Because a lot of people now, like I got an email yesterday, and it said something about an old house I used to own, and I'm like, I don't own this house. Are you just trying for me to click on this so it gets all my
Phishing.
information? Exactly.
That's phishing.
And it happens almost on a weekly basis now. So do you think the younger generation are going to have an issue going forward, or is this going to be
Absolutely.
This is going to stop, let's say, because the older generation is
They're
the one
only
that's
going to
being
get more
targeted?
sophisticated.
They're going to get more sophisticated. The younger generation is so busy doing what they do, they're not really paying attention. No demographic right now is truly paying real attention like they should. Period. Across the board.
Yeah.
I think a big target right now is also ransomware. That's still on the rise. You look at locally, Sinclair Broadcasting, Channel 3, I think. They just recently, a few weeks ago, got hacked. All of
Yeah,
their
I
data,
saw,
ransomware.
I saw that, man. Like literally go to their station, dude. It was the funniest thing, dude. Like,
the funniest
they must
thing-
have lost so much business.
The funniest thing is watching their weather report on TV, and he's got a little whiteboard.
Dude, it's like elementary school, and they're teaching you about clouds. Like literally to draw it away.
And we have a cold weather front coming
Dude, it was
in.
the funniest thing in the world. Like, I know it's not funny, but it was funny.
It brings it home, though. That's the thing. It brings it home.
Let me tell you this. We had a presentation that we
I
did
saw that.
with the founder of our company, right? And he got hacked in the middle of the presentation. And his kid was drawing, when he was talking, he was drawing little like balls on his face.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop it. And he was just so embarrassed. We were embarrassed. We were
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And all the clients were laughing. They're texting me. They're like, is this a joke?
If all of this electronic hacking is going on, do you see any way of getting around it or stopping it? And how might blockchain work to curb this and maybe end it?
So blockchain is amazing, and that's been on the forefront for a number of years now. Blockchain will definitely help. If you don't know what blockchain is, one event must occur before another
Yep.
event must happen. That's about the simplest
A chain,
explanation
yeah.
for it.
Sets
Chain
off
reaction.
a chain of
It's a
events.
chain reaction.
Yes,
chain
one
of
sets
events.
off the other. Yep.
But unfortunately, most technology out there has not adopted blockchain. But believe me, these guys are so smart, they're going to find something to get around it.
Yeah. Help themselves.
So take me in the mindset of like somebody that's had this happen, or somebody that you've had a situation where they've told you, just so people can understand the concept of how this would work.
It all, when it happens, everybody thinks, oh, it can't happen to me. I'm too small. I'm just a real estate agent. I'm just a
Yeah, but
buyer.
everybody.
And that's the worst misconception ever, is those small individuals is who they're targeting, because they're easy targets.
Yeah.
Period. But, and when it happens to them, it said, I didn't think it would happen to me.
Yeah.
By the time it happens, it's already too
And
late.
that's how they get you.
That's
because
how
they
get
know
you.
that. Yeah,
you
man.
look at even wiring money. I will not let my clients wire money on a Friday. I will not let them wire money Friday.
I thought that was like a stigma thing where it's like, yeah, they got it got intercepted a couple times, but is Friday like the real target day for everybody? Like,
Well, why
the
do you
problem
want it-
is it's like Black Friday.
No, listen.
the problem is,
Black Friday.
if you wire money on a Friday,
It's Monday before they find
it's
out.
Monday, Tuesday
Yep.
before they find out that money's gone. I
way
mean,
gone.
there are some FBI programs that will assist you if, over a certain dollar amount, you must do a swift recall notice. You can't do those things on a weekend.
Yeah.
And you can't track it. So by the time Monday rolls around, that money's gone.
Yeah,
that's a
they're
good
long.
idea.
They're long gone. Yeah.
Yeah, so you look at that situation. I just feel that when you look at people and how they're looking at, well, it couldn't happen to me. I think it's the wrong approach, because I think people now need to go into it saying, I need to be on the defensive end, not the offensive end of just saying.
Well,
no,
that's
it's
the thing.
just-
Every single person's happened to always says, "I never thought it happened to me."
Everyone.
I'm-
Every
I-
single
Everyone,
one.
dude. No one wakes up in the morning and says, "Man, today is a good day to get hacked."
No, but I think they don't even have that concept that
I
it
know.
could happen. It's almost like they're saying,
That's
you know
how
what, the
they're able to get
odds
away with it, man.
Of me getting this happen to me,
They're
where
they're
I'm gonna-
playing odds.
That's it.
Well, look, if you're getting hacked, and I'm going to talk to Scott, is if somebody's sitting there watching you, right? What do they use software? Like, how are they getting into a position to actually pull that?
All these software packages are being sold on the dark web.
I see.
They're all being sold
Yep.
on the dark web. It's a business. And here's the kicker, and this pisses me off, is you can go on YouTube, and you can do how to hack a Gmail account, there's videos all over the place on how to hack, how to steal.
I don't have a Gmail.
Yeah,
It's not illegal to post these videos. It's illegal to do the act.
they do the.
Wouldn't-
So they
yeah, but
could-
YouTube will sit there and look at this, right? You'd think, and they would pull that off,
They're
right?
still there.
Yeah.
Wow, is it? Why do they? I mean,
Dancing
Well,
girls.
like-
I'm
That's
confused.
it.
So-
Why? Why
so-
is the big question?
So
Right.
Dan, when you hear about like MasterCard gets hacked or some insurance company gets hacked and like they had a breach of 7 million customers, whatever, blah blah. That's where their info goes. The people who hack it, they sell it on the dark web, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
And
so let me. This is what happens.
That's where they make their money off.
They
of
get
it.
the software off the dark web for the most part. Then they hack into that account, take those.
So they send you an
information.
email, but
No.
there's a virus or there's something in that email when you open it that
Right.
automatically they're able to go into your computer now. Correct?
Right, correct. But they're also when that email is sent with the wire instructions, and this happens all the time, then a second one goes out. Oh, we made an error, and a second one goes out from the hacker with the changed number on there. Everything else looks the same.
Yeah.
Even the email is off by a letter or a number, and you wouldn't normally know this, and boom, they got you.
You would think that this.
The money.
Have you ever heard of a lender or a bank getting getting a position like that where they had an issue?
I have heard that in the past, but even more so, unfortunately, there is such a time lag of when an institution like that is hacked between when they hacked and they report it.
Of course.
So there's weeks and months
or longer.
or longer before they even let it out. They don't want to let it out. They want to
Yeah.
try to
Is it
mitigate
because they're
inside.
embarrassed? Are they embarrassed? Is that why?
It's
I mean,
not good business.
no,
It's not
it's
good
not
for
good
their business,
business.
man. Are you
Yeah,
kidding
but
me?
listen. If I was, let's say you get hacked, right? Let's say that something happens, right?
Right.
I think it would still be beneficial to not maybe come out and say the name of the business, but that it got hacked. A company got hacked. So wouldn't you come out and say, "Oh, this lender got hacked," but say, "Hey guys, you need to be aware of this."
Yeah, change your information.
A lender got hacked. You don't have to say GR got hacked. You know what I'm saying? You could just come out and say, "Hey guys."
No
this is-
offense, but if I'm a consumer, I'm going to want to know specifically
lender
who
is.
that is.
Because
but-
I need to know if my information
that's
was...
my consumer right.
But I'm
brah.
saying you would keep it confidential. You're not going to put that out there. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be good for people to know about it, right? Like, okay, well, this lender got hacked, or this person got hacked.
yeah, but
or,
businesses
you know what
put profit over.
I
everything
understand,
else
but
most
if
of the
they don't
time,
have
so.
a name, they're not going to get. It's not going to
Hey,
happen.
But then
There's-
the consumer's
lending-
going to want that name.
right.
Yes.
Hey,
Yep.
this is off topic a little bit, but you're talking about losing money, and we're talking about banks. I used to be a bank manager. There's more money lost in banks than you can frickin' fathom, and you never hear about it. And it's all internal.
I wish they'd
stop
lose
and
it-
think about
yeah.
it. Everybody that works in a bank has access to every account number, name, address, everything. All they got to do is type it in, and they know how much you have. They lose so much money to internal theft. You have no clue.
And they don't bring it up, obviously,
Of
because it's
course you're
bad
not-
publicity.
It's just the way it is.
Embezzling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people all the time that they get money that's wired into their account erroneously, And then there's some people that use that money or went and bought homes and bought all kinds of stuff, and then they got caught. So you're absolutely right.
I mean,
just saying,
but it's there.
Look,
It's
if it's there though, and they can control it, why is this still existing? Right? It's just too big to control. Is that right? Is that what it is?
It's not the act of selling, giving this information. And these guys who are selling the information, you can't find them. You can't find them. Everything is done through cryptocurrency, untraceable. All these payments for all this, I can get all these software, fake IDs, bank accounts, everything, and it's all done by cryptocurrency.
Yep.
So we heard that Coinbase was hacked.
So maybe we found one of the
I think
one of the
it's
originators
him.
right here.
He's right here.
Everything I got on my
Here.
Bitcoin.
That's what he does on his spare
Spare
time. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about this, all right? So we're going to go back and we're going to talk to Scott, but I also want to transition into something here. We're going to talk with Rick about property management and some of the stories he has related to cybercrime. Talk to Brett over here about real estate, but I want to talk with you. Where do you see, you're a broker owner, been here for what? How long you been in real estate, you said?
Going on 30 years.
Okay. Where do you see real estate headed in the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
In terms of cybercrime?
Just in general. In general.
I totally see that cryptocurrency will be a choice in terms of financing or paying for these properties, because right now it is the safer way to go. It's hard to tell. We just don't know. Let's just say it's going to get worse. Cybercrime will get worse, and we need to just stay aware of it. And everything we do, we must have procedures in place.
You just have to be vigilant, like
You
you
just
are with
have to be
anything else with
vigilant.
your business.
Yeah,
You know?
it's hard to say. Let's just say cybercrime will go up.
So they got this affordability for home affordability. I don't know if it's like a program.
Index.
Well, they have something going on in Vegas where the city is going to be building, I think it's over off of between Rainbow and Buffalo, where they're going to be putting in homes that are for low income families. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, well, is that a really good thing to do? Because you may be putting them next to homes that are $1 million homes, right? So it brings the value down.
Well,
where else are you going to put it?
First of all, they're not going to put them right next to $1 million homes.
Well, it's close.
Let's just be realistic.
But it's close.
It's close.
It's close.
But they have community.
Yeah, but Las Vegas is like that.
No,
Like, you could literally have-
The question
anyways.
I have is that really going to help the city?
It's all short term, in my opinion. They're going to do it, and I don't think it will affect overall everything.
Yeah.
But they're not going to put it next to $1 million properties. They can't afford that land.
Right.
But
Told you.
will it help? Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot.
I mean, look,
and it's got to be so regulated.
yeah,
It's
I mean-
political.
it is. But I
Yeah.
think you could throw a rock to some of these homes. Maybe not $1 million home, but it could be $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 homes. I
But
mean,
that's
Yes.
Vegas. Like, you couldn't get away with that in Wisconsin, where I'm from. You've got,
you know what?
you've got your homes
California's
on the
like
hill,
that.
and then you've got your other homes here, and they're completely separated. Here,
But California's like that.
yeah, California's exactly
If
like
you go
that.
to LA, there's pockets that are
Yep.
million.
Yeah.
You can have a
multiple
multi-million-dollar home, and across the street there's homeless, and it's run down. Yeah,
Yep.
right across the
Those-
street.
How do they count that?
Those pockets
Because
are
it's West Coast, baby.
Well, we're West Coast.
I know. That's
Hey.
what I'm saying.
being from LA. Those pockets are huge. Those pockets are called Beverly Hills, Brentwood.
right.
Yeah.
They're huge. So they're basically entire cities, whether it be Highland Park
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's different. Here in Vegas, those pockets could be 3 to 4 blocks square, and it's on a much smaller scale, and it impacts the homes around there much more. That's my opinion
Yeah,
on it.
agreed.
All right, we're going to talk with Mr. Rick Rains here. We need to give a property management update. Also, you have a story related right to Scott as being some of the things that Scott's talked about and we've been talking about to your situation, right?
Well, my stories, again, as I had discussed at the beginning, are more on a personal security, not on a cyber security. So I don't have anything that's directly related with Scott. Mine is more on how to, whether you're a homeowner or you're a real estate agent, and the process that you should go through if you're going to show property in order to keep your own self safe. And so that's what I have. If
As
you're
an
interested.
agent, you mean?
As an agent.
Oh, okay, that's great.
So if you want to go into that, we can.
Yeah, let's talk. I mean, the thing is, people just want to know. I mean, I think that's a little bit different, but I mean, we could talk a little bit about that. I mean, I don't think there's every situation, every city's got an issue with some type of crime like that. You know, it's just, what do you do to prevent it too? I mean, that's more of a,
what it is. It's what to do to prevent it. And most of the agents in my office know how to prevent it. And the one major story I have is the one girl who didn't do what I told her to do. And she ended up in a situation. So as an example, some of the things that I might have time to go over are they can be impractical. But one of the things that you as an owner, if you're going to show your own property, or if you're a real estate agent, is that the buyer or the tenant is going to frickin' jump through hoops to do whatever it is that you want them to do before they get the property. So don't be shy about asking them for IDs, looking it over, taking pictures, getting their phone number, calling them back to make sure that the phone number works and it's not phony, doing all these types of things up front before you put yourself in danger. And so one of the things that you should be doing is when you're showing a property, make sure that the property, and this is I'm doing this from a property management standpoint. So that makes the property is vacant.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're there before the clients or the tenants show up. Make sure that the property is open. You don't want to get caught with them behind you while you're opening up a door. Make sure that the door is already unlocked. Make sure you park your car in the street. You don't want to get it blocked in a driveway.
Wouldn't it bring value if you're a landlord, because you're working with landlords, to already have something like that set up, where you have a system in the house set up that, I don't know if it's like an invasion of privacy because you're renting from somebody, but maybe have an option where they can set it up where they can kind of run that. I mean, it sounds weird, but would it help or wouldn't help? Like, as far as if I'm renting a property, being that there's a lot of theft, there's a lot of things that goes on in the front, that you have at least some type of security where you got like a doorbell ring camera, or you got a camera out front, just to kind of support the tenants a little bit better.
The answer is yes, but there's a problem with that as well. And Scott should may even have more stories on this, but it can also provide for discrimination. So what they're basically saying is that the owner and landlord or the broker were able to watch who's coming up. I'm already making a decision, and if you have any sort of cameras in your house and or video and audio, they're listening to what it is that you have to say. And there's always a possibility that what you're talking about is going to impact the transaction that you want to get into and or get disqualified.
Fair housing.
So, fair housing is,
you don't want to be
really
walking
big.
down that line, man.
So let me tell you, I got a story for you because I just touched on that base. One of my agents went out to show a property. The guy got out of the car. She hadn't had the place opened up, and as she's unlocking the door, he's talking to her about how great her hair looks, what she was wearing, things.
The landlord was?
No, this is the potential tenant.
Potential tenant.
Okay,
Potential
sorry.
tenant.
So, was saying that to her.
So he's standing behind her, commenting on all this stuff in very affectionate way. So she,
to say the least.
so she opened up. So she opened up the door, got out of his way, and let him go in. And she shut the door real fast, bolted to about 3 houses down. Called me. I live in the area. It was up in the lakes. Me and my youngest son, we got in my Jeep, and I'm not joking. I did fucking 90 miles to 100 miles an hour to get to that property. I went through all the red lights.
Yeah.
All I did was get over in what now they call the bus lane, and I just booked.
Yeah.
And I got there. I had to find her. He had bolted and taken off, and nothing became of it. The police had been called, and it all got cleared up. But the point I want to make on this is that when you're showing a property, there's the yin and the yang of this. One is that you want to interact with whomever you're showing it to, either buying or a tenant, in order to help them feel as though they're going to want to live there. Can't you picture your TV over here? Can't you picture this? Can't you picture that?
Like stage it, you mean?
Well, in their minds.
Yeah, perception,
okay? Because
right?
this is the perception. The problem is that if you go into a room with them and you allow them to get between you and the door, you're screwed.
Right.
Okay, potentially, assuming that they're wanting to do bad things. And
Yeah.
I watch agents take people they don't know way down deep inside of a house.
Wow.
Down, way down to the fourth bedroom to show them the size of the bedroom. And hey, if it happens down there, nobody's ever going to hear you.
Right.
So I tell all my agents, because again, we're talking about property management and it's vacant. Give them the paperwork, give them your card outside, let them go in. You can stand in the living room if you want to. Mm-hmm. And then when you leave first, allow them to come out. You say goodbye. You go back in, you lock the door, and now you go through the house and you close all the windows and all those access points that they may have opened, and you re-secure it. You're inside, the door's locked. Now you can check to make sure everything's clear before you leave. Make sure that, especially if you're a female, I suggest you carry pepper spray.
I carry it.
Do you really?
I carry that and I carry it.
I think a lot of people. I think a lot
I'd
of.
be carrying a gun, man.
That's what I was saying. A lot of
one.
agents now. Yeah.
I mean, I don't,
And that's scary in itself. That's scary in itself because it's easy to get a CCW.
Right.
When Beverly Carter, she was a real estate agent probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've met her son, outstanding. And
Here in Vegas?
No, it was...
No, she was in Georgia, Atlanta or Georgia or something. Or
Tennessee, I think.
Tennessee, one of the southern
met
states.
her. She was the one that got.
No.
I met her son.
Oh, her
Because
son.
no one heard of her until she got killed.
I see. Okay.
And it's
Not to sound
unfortunate
mean.
that it takes an event like this
Yeah.
for the industry to take
And
take
she
notice
even
and do
took
something.
precautions, right? She let her coworkers know she was going to this appointment, or her husband. She said, "Here's what time it is," and it's because he wasn't showing back up that they were.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate. She knew better.
Yeah,
She
that's
knew
the thing,
better,
is it didn't do anything
and
for
it
the
was-
situation of when it happened.
And the word is, it came down to a paycheck. She was the possibility of double ending a deal.
Yeah.
The biggest mistakes that a real estate agent can make is from their pocketbook.
yeah.
Yep, always.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I'll share this story.
100% true.
I'll share this story, which I've never shared before.
Sure.
So back in the early 80s, someone very, very, very close to me got raped showing a property.
Wow.
Oh God.
Who was it? It was my mother.
Oh my gosh.
So do I know what happens?
Wow.
Absolutely. And I remember
Wow.
that day vividly. So that's why I've always been a very big proponent on agent
Oh
safety.
my man.
So here's
Wow.
an interesting
That's
issue
crazy,
that Scott and I have. Scott and I, for those listeners, we go back 20 years, and we've both been into martial arts. And the Real Estate Association has recently come out with, what did they call it? They didn't call it personal security, but basically what they're doing is they're putting out classes in how to be more secure.
Self-protection or self-awareness
or
protection
something
classes,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So we wanted to hold classes to give you basic physical ways of protecting yourself. So even if you follow some of the guidelines that I gave you, you never know what's going to happen. You shouldn't, for women, don't take your purse in, put it in your trunk.
I always do.
And but if somebody was to grab you, here's the problem. Most people, and I've got a hunch, Esmeralda, if I were to go over there and grab her, her body has a physical response of shock because you're not used to getting grabbed, pushed, or hit. And one of the things that happens when you take any sort of self-defense classes, you get used to getting pushed around a little bit so your mind doesn't instantly shut down.
Doesn't freak out. Yeah.
Doesn't freak out and shut down. So one of the things that Scott and I
point.
wanted to do was to introduce self-defense, very basic self-defense classes that we could have for the association members. And guess what? The association isn't frickin', they don't care.
Yeah.
It's a liability to them.
They don't care. And
Yeah.
I cannot fathom
That's sad,
that.
man.
I cannot fathom that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's one of the reasons that I suggest that you spend some time to take some basic classes, get yourself pushed around. You're not going to get hurt. I'm telling you, you're not going to get hurt. I've been in martial arts since I was 15. and you're not going to get hurt.
Did they have martial arts back then?
They did have martial arts back then.
You haven't taken me
In
on
fact-
yet. I'm just kidding, Rick.
Hey,
You don't know Rick.
I don't want
Yeah,
to.
I don't-
He was
I don't want to. Rick, you win. You win.
Rick was in the class with Bruce Lee. You didn't know that, man. Rick was taking classes.
Shut
with
up.
Bruce.
If
No,
I told
ask
you,
him.
if I told you I was taking classes, you wouldn't know them, but they were just as big as Bruce Lee. But anyway,
There you go. See?
I will attest to that.
He's actually Chuck Norris underneath
Yeah.
us all. I just went.
so anyway, that's one of the things that's really important. I think that Scott's put his kids into martial arts before, even if they are only in there for a couple years, just to get some basics. I put my kids in there. Think about it. You have nothing to lose, believe me.
I think I want to add something to that. I think one of the key points of being in martial arts, it teaches you situational awareness
Yeah.
and knowing your surroundings. I think if more real estate agents knew their situational awareness,
Yep.
I got a couple stories on that. Scott's 200% correct. I had a friend of mine. He committed suicide. He was a big martial artist, and there are a lot of people out there that cannot see consequence of what their actions are, situations. So here's the thing: we had an office, a block away was 7-Eleven. Behind our office was an alleyway. Our offices were right in the middle of the office building. I said, let's go down and get a soda. He goes, okay. And he starts heading for the frickin' alley. And I said, where are you going? Well, I'm going to go to the alley. It's shorter. I said, by what, 50 feet? I said, why would you walk down an alley when you can walk down the street
Yeah,
Exactly.
where it's visible.
where it's visible?
Yeah.
And in the alleyway, you got all these people or
Yeah.
things that can jump out at you. And people, that's
And they do.
situational. And here's another thing. You're not going to ever get someone yelling at you from across a parking lot, hey, you hold up, I want to beat the crap out of you. It doesn't happen that way.
oh, wait, let me get my gun out
Let me
first.
get my, hold up, hey, hold up a second. You
Let me
know?
take my shoes off.
It
Let
doesn't-
me put my gi on. Hold on.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen
Doesn't
that way.
happen.
So you need to learn confrontational self-defense, where somebody is grabbing you from the side of your car, someone's coming out while you're at your ATM and they come out from behind a pillar, something to that nature, as opposed to what you see on TV where people stand off and they go at it. That is
Yeah.
so rare.
Did you see that video of? Turns out the guy was an ex-Marine, but he's in Tennessee or something. He walks into his gas station. He walks into every week, and he's walking out, leaving, and two guys come in to rob it. And one guy comes in like this and then points it right at the guy. And without even thinking twice, he just goes,
Yeah, he
"Woo,"
took
like
the gun
that.
right out, yeah.
Takes the gun right out of it and points it right back at it. And the guy was an ex-Marine, and same thing.
So
he
he-
was used to confrontation.
Yes.
He
Muscle
was-
memory.
yes.
Muscle memory.
It's mu-
Yes, he
muscle
was
memory.
familiar with being involved in a situation and confrontation, and it was nothing to him. I mean,
Yeah.
he was like literally, like you said, muscle memory. It was just like as soon as he saw the gun, boom, boom, boom.
So I have another story for you.
Like if you thought about it, you probably wouldn't do it.
As a kid, I was working for the grocery stores, and I would get my hour lunch, and I lived about 2 blocks from the grocery store, so I would go home and I would take a nap instead of eat. So I would lay down on the couch and go to sleep. And my mom, I was probably about 17, no, I was a little older. I was about 19, and I just started martial arts. I'd been in it about a year. My mom made the mistake of coming up and shaking me by my shoulder while I was asleep, and I freaking punched her out.
Wow.
I've done
Okay.
that. I have
punched
done
you.
that.
Wow.
And,
Really?
and ever since, of course, ever after
Don't
that,
get Scott drunk and wake
she
him up.
would always wake me up by grabbing my foot.
I
Okay.
keep telling my wife that all the time. I keep telling her. She woke me up one night. I actually elbowed her.
Yeah.
Wow.
No
Yes.
joke.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I am so sorry,
Muscle
but
memory.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't walk up
I'd get a
behind
water
me.
gun. I'd be shooting about
Don't
5
walk
feet
up
away.
behind me.
Like, wake up, wake
Okay,
up.
so here, another story. Interesting, 5 feet away. Scott and I and another one of our practitioners, we got invited to go to the police, what was it, police training. They have like CE courses for police. So they have to update their physical awareness, their gun awareness, shooting, all this stuff.
Right.
So as practitioners, we got invited to participate with the police in their training. Oh my God, by halfway through, they didn't want to train with us anymore.
Yeah.
And we weren't doing anything, were we, Scott? We
No,
were being
we were-
really nice. And I remember I had one cop that wanted to.
Because you're too rough on them, or what?
No, it's just that
They couldn't do what they needed
they
to do.
couldn't do what they needed to do, and it was so basic to us.
Huh.
And so I had this cop I got paired up with, and they were supposed to attack me. Okay, and so I got ready. You know, I went, okay.
You got in your stance?
Yeah, very, very.
So I got ready.
Seldom.
Yeah, very subtle.
Subtle.
Very subtle. Just, okay, I'm ready. They didn't move.
Yeah.
They didn't move. I said, what's wrong? I said, you're supposed to attack me. She goes, I'm not doing that. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. Just come on in. So
Just come on in.
Just come
Come
on
on
in.
in.
You're like, dude, every day in the streets we got to do. I ain't doing.
And one of the
Training.
cops in there
I ain't doing
what worked in the jails, and I asked him. I said, if we were an inmate, how would you come get us? He said, with no less than 8 guys in shields.
Wow.
So it was fun.
I had
Wow.
We had a
the
good
guy
time.
that I was paired with. He was a bodybuilder. The guy was huge. He was like this, and he couldn't take me down. He couldn't take me down. He was on top. I kept pushing him off. I was on top. He couldn't do anything, and he was so frustrated. I saw it in his face. He wanted to just scream.
Yeah, I bet.
And he's like, he said to me afterwards, says, if we didn't know if we knew who you were, we had to pick you up, we would have probably about 5 to 8 officers backing us up.
Wow.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's all muscle memory for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And here's something else interesting about cops. Most of them don't know how to use their handcuffs. Just so that
Really?
you know. Yeah, because they don't ever have to. You got to remember, they're relative
they're not
to the.
using it as consistent.
Yeah, yes, and relative to the size of the police force, okay, of everybody that's on a police force, that includes the guy that's up in the helicopter and all that stuff. There are very few of the cops that are actually having to cuff people.
I had a client who worked for North Vegas cops. He used them every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every night between 11 a.m. and like 6 a.m. was
Yeah.
the shift. I was like, bro,
Let's
You're a better man than
let's
me.
do this. So on the property management side, we got a
Yes.
lot of stories, which is great. A lot of insight. Thank you guys, because these are some stories that makes me think. So let's talk a little bit about. We talk about security, okay, with being a property manager. Now let's talk about what's going on. Is there any statistics or anything you want to bring up this week, or is there nothing really that is different from last week?
Well, actually, it is, because Scott again brought up the fact that there's inventory is shrinking, but what's interesting is that in the property management side of it, it's expanding. So
As we just talked about, right? It's expanding
it's
because
expanding
people
in
are-
the property or in the rental side of
Right.
it. So just over the last month, the number of available properties has gone up almost 6%. So on a week
for the rental
for
sector.
the rental sector on a
Okay.
week-to-week basis.
What is that average? Would you say rental? Like if somebody's going to buy a home, what is the average rents right now for a
Average
house?
rent right now, average
Just
is
general.
about 1,700.
Okay, that's for probably a
1700 a month.
3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
That's just
15
that's average. Yep.
Average. Anything else? You're good.
I'm good.
All right, let's go over here to Mr.
man,
Brett Jenny.
you know, we were talking about security cyber risk before, and I'm looking at this article from CoreLogic that says fraud risk is up 37.2%
Absolutely.
year to year. So that coincides exactly with what Scott was saying over there.
You look at here's cybercrime losses. 2018, 2.7 billion. 2019, 3.5 billion. 2020,
Yeah.
4.2 billion.
On real estate?
They said
Just
2 to 4
overall.
2 to 4 unit purchase loans have seen the greatest amount per percentage for fraud risk.
That's
So,
it.
We're ending
Simple
the
as
show,
that.
guys. Thank you so much. This is Dan French. Also, I want to talk with Rick. Rick, you got anything else to say? How can somebody get a hold of you, buddy?
Hey, Atlas Group LC, and our website is www.property-mgmt.com. Look forward to talking to each and every one of you.
Rick's a great guy. He listens to everything you talk about, so I definitely highly recommend giving Rick a call. You got Mr. Brett Jenny over here. How can somebody get a hold of you, Brett? You're a real estate agent?
Yep, brettjenny.com or 702-628-FIRM.
Scott, thank you for coming on, man.
Hey, great to be on the show, you guys. You guys are awesome.
You like that one?
Appreciate it, man. You did a great
Yeah.
job. Thanks for the insight on what's going on with cyber security. You work for Better Homes and Garden. If somebody wants to get, I don't know if you want to throw anything out, like your
we're
website.
Owner, broker, Better Homes and Gardens, bhgvegas.com. Scott Beaudry, owner broker. Call me. I'm there for you. If you have any questions, I'll hook you up.
There you go. And
Thanks, Scott, for coming in.
Batgirl. We're just going to call her Batgirl. Thank you for coming on. You got anything else to say and add, Batgirl?
She's on the pro-
you know
she's
what?
on the
I do
prowl
want to say
tonight.
something. I know it's not. So please, if you're gonna put gas and you're a woman, don't do it at night. Do it during the day.
Don't
'Cause I
show
know-
at night
yeah,
either.
Because I
Time
know
change.
somebody really close to me. I want to say my ex-mother-in-law that did that, and she got a gun pointed at her trying to get gas.
No.
I mean, thank God that she didn't roll down the window and somebody pulled up and
Yeah.
they ran. But if you don't need to send your husband, your boyfriend, don't do it as a
Yeah.
woman. Don't do it late at night. Wait. This was in Summerlin, and,
Wow.
and it was a busy gas station, but there was nobody there when she went.
Yeah.
So just remember, it doesn't matter where you're at. Just be safe. Be cautious.
Guys, thank you so much, Esmeralda. I'm going to be piping tonight as well.
And then working in your garage
into the
afterwards.
night. Yep. And
Changing oil.
changing oil.
And drinking
You
beer
guys,
and shit.
please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. We love the content. If you guys have any information or have any requests through the comment section, please do that. We're the most real behind-the-scenes information regarding financing, real estate,
What-
money talk, entrepreneurs through on-job experience here in Las Vegas.
And you always forget Podcast of the Stars.
I'm Dan French. We'll see you guys at the
No.
next stream on Tuesday. Happy Halloween. You guys have a good week.